Straight, no chaser.
This time we're recording it. So, we're going to get into some things and do some things and talk about some things. And yeah.
We just talked about COVID-19. We talked about health.
All I'm
He
saying
wants
is their own.
He just wants to be controversial. It's okay.
Somebody has to be. It's not about being controversial. I'm just trying to give the people what they want. Speaking of giving the people what they want,
that.
everybody wants that.
No, it's okay. Do your thing, man.
Everybody
What's up,
wants
Elaine?
that.
Everybody wants it. Whatever.
What's up? Straight No Chaser, the podcast. We back once again, doing it to your eardrum. On Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a special occasion.
Yeah,
So we coming to you live. Family things happening. We out on Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Tunes, Watermelon Tunes, and all of the above. So
hey, real quick though, Jay, as you venture off, if you really get into wines, I would encourage you to go to some wine tastings and check out some Pinot Noirs. It's a good entryway into some reds that may be more palatable for like what your taste buds are like.
Neil, you good?
What's up, big? I'm tired, bro. Last week of school.
Damn, y'all still in school?
Yeah, we get out Friday.
Shout out to all the teachers and the school professionals and the paraprofessionals. Once again, every week we're going to keep giving y'all the props because, somebody got to watch these damn kids because we don't want to. So, y'all heard all about the sangria and everything else. We got to introduce ourselves. Neil, go ahead and kick it before you fall asleep.
What's happening? I'm here. Let's go. Keltric.
Well, what's popping? Mental Health Awareness Month. The LGBTQ plus month. It's a lot of stuff going on out there. Henny is the best one out. You sound like a clown.
Wow.
You don't need to be calling people clowns, man.
I said that sounds like a clownish statement to say Henny is the best wine out.
I'm certain he was saying it in jest.
Right.
Maybe not.
But we
shout out your best wine.
We're reading it. So, all right, Ra, over to you.
What's going on, people? It's Rasheem. Let's go.
Bam.
Who's left?
So like that.
Who's left?
Black Music Month too. I appreciate that, Queen Sheba.
Yep.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Can you see the?
I can see him. Caribbean Heritage Month. June.
All right,
let's do it. I'm in the comment. I'm comment creeping. I'm doing what Neil does.
But Neil will shout it out until it's on the screen.
Hey,
Manischewitz, sweet
man.
Okay, we're gonna leave that alone, Christina.
Yeah. So. All we were saying beforehand, for those who might just be joining us, and you can throw yours in the comments or whatever the case is. What are your favorite wines? Do you like to drink? What is it that you drink? I personally said, go ahead, Ra.
I was going to say that white wine is but there is a red wine that Costco has called Jam Jar. It's a South African wine. It's really, really sweet. You would probably like it, John. It's extremely sweet. But the thing is, I'll put Malibu rum. Yeah, Malibu and Jam Jar together get you right.
I feel like it's doing a little much.
Is getting you right still the goal?
For me, I like to feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not drinking for the taste. Okay. I want some altered chemical state to a certain degree.
Yep.
And as Jules would say, Jam Jar is amazing. Yes, you can have it by itself; it's good. But when you add that Malibu, for whatever reason, it makes it sweeter. So if you don't like the sweet, then don't do it. It makes it sweeter, but it is good. It is really, really good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, outside of that, I just stick with my whiskey.
Right now, I'm on
bougie and exotic for me.
Wait a minute. Say it again, Neil. We too what?
I'm just saying it to mess with Keltric because I can see his face.
Yeah, with your veganist T-shirt.
Nah, he healthy. If I want to drop a bet, you already know how I get down. Give me a Long Island. I'm done. I'm great.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute. is white wine is soft, but a Long Island iced tea, the ones that Neil drinks, I'm gonna give it to him. I was gonna go with that's a weak drink, but actually it's not. Neil gets like 5 different damn liquors in there. Never mind. Continue.
How quickly does he drink it though?
This is also a factor.
Not on me tonight. We're not on me tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, if we drinking, I'm looking for some tequilas, like some good solid tequila. That's what I'm on right now. I've done scotches. I love scotches. I have a couple of scotches in my collection. I just added another tequila to my collection. Those are the 2 things that I drink, and I drink wine. I drink.
You know what I remember though?
That I like,
even though Keltric don't like it no more. What's the joint you put us on to back in the days when we was doing the parties? That first drink, I forgot.
Grand Marnier.
Paul
I still love that, dog.
Grand Marnier.
Yeah,
I never had no Paul Masson.
Pineapple. Wasn't it Grand Marnier and pineapple you put us on to?
Yeah,
that's still smooth.
I've drank that in 15, 20 years almost.
I haven't drunk it since KG Boumaye. I had it since then.
Me neither. It's in the house.
I have not had it since then.
You know what I used to love that I can't. I don't. They don't make it anymore. It's Navine. The last time I saw a bottle of Navine, it cost $600 because they don't make it anymore. No, I had it at my bachelor party.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I only remember a few things from that night. The type of alcohol is not one of them, but there was a lot of it. There was a lot.
That was a very fun night, man.
That was.
I ain't gonna lie. I think you put me on to so much Grand Marnier in that 1 year. I got sick of it in that same year because Keltric, that was his go-to drink, and I was just like, it was smooth though.
It's trash.
Damn.
Trash. It's not as good.
We're just gonna
cannot do it.
Trash the whole label like that. Okay, well, it is what it is.
I mean, we got love because Keltric. I mean, Rosh swears by his drink, and I can't stand it. I can't stand Makers.
Oh, Makers. Yeah, he was on that for a minute.
I was on it for a minute, but Uncle Nearest is my thing.
Yeah.
That
Let me ask you a question. Are you on it because it's black owned, or are you on it because it's actually you feel like it tastes?
Both
okay.
and
the 2 things can be true.
And I'm gonna say specifically the 1856 bottle. The other, I think like the 1886. I can't remember what that one is. I don't like that as much. But the 1856, that's the premium whiskey. That is smooth. It is sweet. And once again, I'm not the only one. It is the most awarded whiskey in the world since it has dropped. So everyone is loving this, and the fact that it's a black woman making it, named after a black man who taught Jack Daniels how to just. I love it. All of that together.
But I ain't gonna lie though, even though you put me onto that ride and it's really smooth, I think you tried it before. I don't know if it was you or Keltric. That Blanton's is amazing.
I don't know what the hell that is.
What are you talking about?
Yo, I'm gonna put you onto that after the show. Blanton's is amazing, yo.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't trust your liquor selections.
Okay, but you will like this one.
No, Neil, just
I'm telling you will like this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is what it is. That said,
I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
How did y'all celebrate Father's Day?
I like that transition. We go from favorite drinks, Father's Day. That's good. Go ahead, fathers. Who go? Ra.
I celebrated it in peace and quiet. I had a couple cards, my favorite bottle of alcohol given to me, and I had the house all to myself. That's how I celebrated Father's. Oh, and the other piece I would say is a big shout out to Father's Day. I'm connected through ancestry, DNA, and all that good stuff. So shout out to my Cameroonian fam. But through it and the family treeing and all that good stuff, I was sent a package of information by a distant cousin who now connected me to my great grandfather.
Wow.
Whose father came off the boat. He was one of the last slaves before abolition of slavery to come off the boat, and to now have that documented connection, that was a great way for me to celebrate Father's Day, because now I'm connected to my great grandfather, and really great grandfather. But yeah, so that's it for me.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
Hold on a second, Buzz. A typewriter?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's got to be a vintage one. Please tell me it's vintage.
Why does it have to be vintage?
Because I mean, it's a typewriter. Who uses typewriters?
Whew, let that anyway. I'm gonna let that
But a
drop.
vintage one, like a
Yeah.
like a turntable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I think vintage. But never mind. Let me know in the comments, Buzz.
What did I do on Father's Day? I called my father. Thank God he's still with us and kicking it and doing very well. Very interesting. I try to touch base with like all the people I know that are adults and have kids, or I should say those, all the fathers. So I think we traded our little texts and, various family members and, that kind of thing. Basically, that's when I will actually touch base with you. I'm not the kind of person to just be like, call you for no reason just to ask you what you've been doing all day. But if it's like your birthday, special little days like that, I'm definitely going to hit you up. And then, me and my son did some yard work, which is actually my happy place. And what else did we do? I feel like I ate that day, of course. I can't remember. But it was, a very restful, relaxing, chill day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my daughters woke up, made breakfast for me, but then they had to go to work. So they were like, Dad, this is the first Father's Day ever that you're going to be by yourself. But kind of like Ra, I was like, yo, I enjoy the peace and quiet. I was by myself for a little bit, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, everybody on here know I'm a sucker for my daughters, man. So I was kind of sad for a minute, like, damn, y'all left me in this joint. But I found some yard work to do. And then Solo, she's gonna do right before they go to college, we all gonna get like a daddy-daughter tattoo. You know what I mean? Something that represents
That's nice.
each
That's
one.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that joint right there.
That's love. So my wife and my kids hooked me up with a 3-day weekend. So Friday I had a solo dinner, which was exquisite. And then on Saturday, I had like a virtual reality experience. It was something different. We did some donut. We had a donut run together as a family. There's a spot down here. I think y'all been to the donut. I had y'all on the donut. Them joints fire, cuz.
Yeah.
World's best donuts. And then on Sunday, I got this shirt. I got some tremendous cards, and it was the first one where my daughter could really like understand like what a father really is. I guess in my opinion, because she was very articulate. So it was just a good little vibe, man. It was a real good time. Great food, great laughs, and some solo experiences and some family stuff. So it was dope.
As it should be, that's what it's all about. It doesn't have to be. I mean, how you celebrate is how you celebrate. I think people get kind of in their feelings, in a lot of different ways, as humans do. It's totally normal. But how you approach the day is just how you do it. I think it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So for all those people that celebrated Father's Day, or if you did not celebrate Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? Still enjoyed yourself. That's ultimately what matters.
Ultimately.
Speaking of yard work, for anybody that might be aware, like you might see, looks like I got paint on my wrist. Every single time, every year, I get into some poison ivy somehow, some way. Once again, I will show y'all what it looks like, but you don't want to see this. So,
it's like one of my old employees. He always would every year he gets into poison ivy. He said it finds him. I never really seen people with poison ivy, but it looks like it's something crucial.
I wore gloves. I had long sleeve shirts on. I had long pants. No, all Jack does is just hold the damn can. So that's number one. But, whatever. Anyway, so good. That was the Father's Day segment. For all my fathers out there, shout out to you. And now we got to go to, real quick, a lot of people brought this up. It has been making the rounds, critical race theory. Okay? For people who do not know what critical race theory is, it is a system of thought that you basically approach American politics and history with a race-first lens. So if you are looking at the Civil War as a black person, you don't have to be unbiased. You are looking at it as a black person and how it impacted you, and take it all the way up to current day politics or whatever the hell else is going on in your life. It's called critical race theory. That's what it is. Right, you look like you looking it up on Wikipedia or something. Are you trying to read the exact definition?
Well, I wanted to give the specific definition.
There you go.
Fact checking your shit.
I'm just saying.
By all means, go for it.
Critical race theory is an academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists in the United States who seek to critically examine the law as it intersects with issues of race and to challenge the mainstream liberal approaches to racial justice.
So what does that mean in every? So the reason that we're bringing this up, for those who might not be aware, there's a wide movement afoot, I guess you could say, across the country of suburban people who feel that critical race theory is being taught in schools, and it stems from the 1619 Project that was part of the New York Times last year, that basically postulated that American history starts when the first slaves got here, which was in 1619, not 1775, when the what am I thinking? Declaration of 1776, whatever. It starts in 1619. So all that to be said, ever since then, people are kind of pushing back on this whole idea of centering Black people in history, and they don't want it taught in their schools, that type of thing. So we wanted to get people's opinion and feedback. Yeah,
I was just saying, like, one of the things that I think it underscores is how when it says critically examine the law as it intersects with issues of race, because when you start to do that, you have to say that America legalized oppression, racism, genocide, and no one wants to talk about the legalization of that stuff. That's why when people be like, they only follow the law. I'm just following the law. I'm just doing what the law tells me to do. Well, at one point in time, the law said it was okay to split me between two horses, tie one leg to one horse, a leg to another, and spank the horses so they run in opposite directions. And the law was cool with that. So when you start to critically examine that stuff, people get in their feelings because they feel like we trying to guilt America. I'm not trying to guilt America. Just tell the truth. Excuse me. Tell the truth.
Okay.
Truths.
So here's my question to you all. Do you feel that critical race theory is currently not being taught as a subject or whatever? They are taking certain readings. Definitely not in Texas. They're taking certain readings from the 1619 Project, and certain teachers in certain schools are trying to, inject that into their upper classes or whatever. But do you think that should even be taught in schools? Or should we look at things from a totally different perspective?
I think the way education is done in America it needs to be rethought in general. So to answer your question, the answer is no, it's not being taught, not just in Texas, but I don't think any place is teaching history, American history, in a way or in a context that gives it its justice, or it's the honest, straight, no chaser kind of flavor. It's all dumbed down. It's all meant in the glorious way. Like I think even at the twins' graduation, they did the Pledge of Allegiance.
Did y'all stand up for that, or did you actually say the pledge?
I didn't. I sat down. I know Neil and I were sitting next to each other. He sat down.
I stood for it, and I stand for it at ball games. I stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, but I think in that respect,
but I stand.
But in that respect, I think it needs to be taught. I think people just need honesty, because there's a lot of people in this country who believe what they read or what people tell them, and it's a lie, or it's revisionist. No different than the Lone Ranger. You watch the Lone Ranger and you think this dude, this white, sheriff in Texas is like this hero. And in some respects, he could be perceived that way. But if you're looking at it honestly, you may have a different perception or perspective on what he stood for, what he was about, and if he was in the right or in the wrong.
And a lot of our teachers that teach, unfortunately, that's not Black, really don't know the truth themselves. Because I've sat in on a couple of equity meetings and racial disparity meetings and try to bid it together, and I'm just like, it's the same old violin bullshit. It's like nothing is going to change. But I try to be proactive. I go at it in a positive mindset, like, okay, maybe this will make a difference. And after 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, it sounds good in the session, but when you really are in the classroom and dealing with parents, and you're dealing with the kids and the students and the there are no black males, and it just hits you in the face, and it's like, what happened to all that shit we was just sitting down in this PD about? You know, it sounds good. Like, I think a lot of school systems, they try to implement things that sound good, but when it comes to really being in the trenches with it, they don't do that. And now with the whole thing with some of these states, I think I touched on it last time, where they're trying to get rid of talking about race and equity in school systems. So if you talk about it, your school system is not getting funded. So it's just like, you know, pay attention. You see what America's really trying to do, in my opinion, anyway.
So let me ask you a question then. So do you think that in Germany they teach the truth about, I'm asking as a parallel, right?
Yeah.
Do you think in nations where they've had a troubled history, is the lessons that they receive, like, do they learn about Anne Frank in Germany, like how they went to kill this little girl, short a diary? Is it, you know, in, let's say in the UK, right, in England, are they taught about how they colonized so much of the world? All of these things being taught in these other respective countries who did just as sinister, you know, mess as America has.
I don't know about other parts of Europe, but from what I understand about Germany, they go in. They teach the truth. You can't walk 20 feet, every 20 feet, without coming across some apology placard, because they had, and Kelly put it out there. Yes, they do in Germany, because they
Buzz said they don't.
Yeah, Buzz said it. I don't know where Buzz is coming from with it, but from what I've seen and in the reporting I have seen, they are really big on telling the truth, because a part of their philosophy is that there can be no reconciliation unless they tell the truth. And as a matter of fact, the brother who did the what's the brother they made that movie about, who did the memorial for the lynchings down in Alabama.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of what his name is. It's Byron something.
A lot of what he is preaching about telling the truth and reconciliation, he's getting a lot of that from what Germany did. So I know in Germany, from what I understand, they tell the truth. I don't know if Amsterdam has become really, really no, they sugarcoat it. They try to tell the truth about slave trade. And then
even like France, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only asking because I think it's interesting. I think if America is supposed to be this beacon of hope and inspiration, then we need to be honest. And as a country, we're not honest with one another. People live and walk around in this trance, like America, this great, honest haven of people and inhabitants and history, and it's just not.
There's a difference between, I mean, this is one of the things I loved about Howard, that I got, I guess, opportunity to learn different things that I didn't learn. Like, what is an ideal? You know what I'm saying? People think an ideal is like a perfect example of something, and it's supposed to be, but ideal cannot exist. So America is supposed to, you know, the American way, the American ideal, it literally can't exist. It can't happen. That's what makes it an ideal. But a lot of people have bought into that in total, and it's jacked up. But as far as what we were talking about, I know that like Germany is very deep as far as like the history and whatnot like that. And I feel like the Amsterdams of the world don't really teach about Anne Frank. But
I mean, they got the Anne Frank house. They got an Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. No, the Amsterdam is pretty liberal, and they try to do their apologetic thing, but they still suffer from their own little issues with racism in Amsterdam. But it's more so, it may make you uncomfortable, but it's not the type of racism like you have in America that will kill you. You know, that there's a big difference.
Right.
But they started the whole trade. And then when they started the trade, it was like, oh, we don't like that. And then they started to focus on trading spices and goods after that instead of people. And that's what made them so rich to the point where they had their own golden era. So now they're trying to say, well, we stopped that because it was bad and we didn't want to partake in that. But they don't really tell the whole truth about blacks and in African heritage, black heritage in Amsterdam.
People in Africa.
I don't even know if Africa tells the whole truth.
But who tells the truth? Is there a place?
What is the truth? That's the problem. Anyway, we can spiral down there.
That's a rabbit hole.
The truth is written by the people that are victorious.
That is the truth.
Ooh. So what are you trying to say? So because black people don't know our history, that we were not victorious in times gone by, something like that?
Take it how you want to take it.
Well, let's just leave that right there, because we don't want to get cussed out worse than we already do by you, the people who listen to this show.
The chasers.
Straight No Chaser, the podcast, which, by the way, is everywhere. So please hit that like button, subscribe to this show, et cetera, et cetera. Tell your mom about us. Other than that, we got on critical race theory. Man, speaking
real quick before we jump off of that, the general, the joint chiefs of the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he spoke, I think it was today or yesterday, in front of Congress. His words, even around the military and what they exposed to, were very poignant. So if you haven't had a chance to take a listen to that, I think his name is General Miller. It was pretty fiery comments from him. I think he was responding to a question from the senator in Florida, Rubio, I want to say.
Rubio's whole ass. One of the most punchable faces on the planet. But we ain't going to talk about that. We are going to talk about men and mental health once again. So for those that don't know, I believe last week was Male Mental Health Week. I feel like I saw a meme that said something like the majority of people who commit suicide are men. Men don't, go to the doctor.
Someone pull the meme up. Thank you, because
this week is Men's Health Week. 84 men a week take their own life.
There you go.
75% of suicides are male. Men are less likely to get help, but speaking up saves lives. So encourage men to speak up, not man up.
So the question is, why do so few men get help, don't think they need help, so on and so forth? In y'all's opinion as men, what do you think?
I think it's ego and pride. That's part of it. No different than a lot of men refuse to go to the doctor to find out their physical condition. Why the hell we expect them to find out about their mental condition if they don't want to find out about the physical condition? Most men don't want to hear that type of news. And because they feel like they are physically okay, they definitely don't want to do the work, because it takes work to mess with your mind. Like, that's not something that is easy as you go to the gym, 3-4 times a week and do it for 2 months and you good. Unpackaging your experiences mentally, it takes a lot of time. And a lot of men, and just to be kind of frank, are lazy, not purposefully, but they're lazy to do the work that it takes to unpackage and what they've experienced emotionally, mentally, physically, and even sometimes, whatever the other is. They just don't want to do put that type of investment in themselves. So as a result, when things get bleak, they're not equipped with the skills to deal with it, and they 86 themselves.
It also depends on the village that you have around you, because for a long time, the way I was groomed before I met y'all, it was like, fix your own problems. Nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? So that's how I was conditioned. You know what I mean? So y'all pretty much know me. Y'all still say I do it. Sometimes when I go through my own little personal problems, I deal with it by disappearing from y'all for like 3-4 months. I
can't let you say that. I can't let you say that, though. It's not about your village. It's not about your village.
No, let me finish. Can I finish?
Can I finish? I just want to say that ain't about your village.
But in a way it is, because I trust y'all, and you, Keltric, on numerous occasions, we've had that one-on-one talk where it's just like, we've grown to be able to talk off one another. But I'm just saying, prior to that, I had the mindset of, not saying with y'all, but my mindset was nobody really gives a fuck. Fix your own problems. You know what I mean? The world ain't stopping for you. It's not like, oh my God, Neil has problems. Let's stop the world and help him fix that. So it was almost like I had to man up for myself. So when you said ego, sometimes it's not really ego. It's sometimes like, do they really care what the fuck I'm going through? And sometimes, if you do open up to somebody and you don't necessarily get the help that you really need because either they can't help you or they're not qualified or whatever, you feel a certain way. So it's just like, fuck it, I'll just deal with this shit with myself. And sometimes people are not strong enough to deal with it on their own. And like you said,
Mhm.
they're 86 themselves. And some
Mhm.
people,
I can't let you slide with that village statement, man. I think that's a bit of a cop out because
it is a village. It is a village, though.
it's about the own individual. It's about the individual, like you yourself. You have to make the decision to have a conversation with somebody, whether that's us in this group, this foursome here. If it's somebody else, a professional who is trained in the field that can help provide some insights and guidance that can help you unpackage some things that can influence you. It is a personal choice. I can tell you all day. Rasheem can tell you all day. John can tell you all day. Hey Neil, you should do X, Y, and Z. But until you get up off your ass and do it yourself, it's a moot point. So it's not about your village can have all the support and love for you in the world. Until you make the decision as a grown fucking man, then it's a moot point.
No, but I'm just saying, I think I saw somebody say that with a comment. Oh, it might have been that comment right there. The way society growing up, I don't know how it was for you in the Midwest, but for me, and it might even been different for Ra, but for me growing up, prior to being able to open my mind and my eyes, it's almost like with straight no chaser. If you got issues, you a weak ass man. If you can't fix that shit yourself, you a weak ass man. If you need somebody to help fix your problems, you a weak ass man. So it's almost like, damn, I gotta,
Well, John-
oh, good, Rob. I see you, Rob.
No, man, y'all gotta let Neil finish his point. Y'all always do
And
this.
that's why
Let him say what he
my
gotta say.
hand is up. I'm waiting.
No, I'm passing to Rob. Go ahead.
Finish your
No, but
you're a
I'm
weak
just-
ass man.
But I'm
He said that's how he was raised, and that's
That's
why
how
he
he was-
had that mentality.
Yeah, I'm not
and it took him
calling
time.
you.
no,
Yeah.
I got you. But I'm saying like I said, for me personally, I said it's a village because throughout the years of us learning each other and knowing each other, like the day you and me first met, Keltric, we met on an emotional, and for some reason we just felt comfortable. So it's like when I say the village, if I feel a certain connection to you, where it's like, damn, this person really cares about me and cares about how the fuck I feel, where I could open up to you and really value what you telling me, then of course I'll absorb what you're telling me and try to change. But other than that, if I don't know you,
Provide context to that conversation, O'Neal. So the open up, it wasn't. I didn't know you like that at that time.
but hold on, we forgot about Ra. Hold on, man. Go ahead, Ra. I know I love you, Keltric, but he had his hand up, cuz. Go ahead, Ra.
I mean, all right. So you got 4 gainfully employed black men sitting on this straight no chaser piece. But we got to be real and be honest that the one of the lowest unemployment rates or highest unemployment rates that we find in a subset or community of people in America are black men. And whatever they report as an unemployment rate, you might as well double it because they're not really giving us the real numbers. Therapy costs money. Like we have benefits that could pay for that. We got EAP where we could get it for free for 3, 6, 9, 12 sessions. If we got brothers who don't have jobs or they have jobs that are low wage, blue collar, that don't provide benefits, where is the expectation that they're going to be able to go out and get this?
This ain't the thing that we read wasn't about black men. It was about men, first of all.
Well, what does John say?
Hey, I'm not. You ain't John and I ain't John. I'm just saying.
No, I'm telling you. Hold on a second. Can I tell you what I'm thinking about this? When I hear this, I'm thinking in the context of black men, because we're talking. We're black men. We're talking about brothers or men in general.
Let me repeat this.
Black is silent for me when we talk about this.
There you go.
This week is Men's Health Week.
Right.
Men's Health Week. It didn't say the number that was black. It didn't say the number that was white. 84 men a week take their own life. 75% of suicides are male.
Okay.
That has. I'm not saying the points you're making don't contribute to this number, but they didn't say that the majority of people who commit suicide are black men. They just said men in general.
I would be interested in seeing
I would too.
further demo breakdown of that. But for me, even if you want to lump in all males, by and large, when we're talking about male in the workforce, blue collar, without the benefits that'll allow them to go pay for this stuff.
Rich men commit suicide too. I'm
not saying they don't.
I'm not saying they do. I'm not saying that they don't either. What I'm saying is
I'm not talking about suicide.
You're talking about a financial demographic, and I'm saying I don't know if finances.
We started talking about.
I
we
don't
started
know
this
if
talking
finances.
about.
I don't know if
Yes.
finances.
Cage. We started this talking about who seeks out therapy. So
Yeah.
I'm talking about therapy. I'm not
Me
going
too.
to who's killing themselves.
You said that your statement was involved. Who are the people that are on this call? We're gainfully employed. You know,
Black men
most of the
can
people don't
afford
have money.
therapy.
They can afford. And
therapy. I'm
not
talking
saying
about
that
therapy.
I'm not saying they can or
suicide.
they can't. I'm not saying they can or they can't. What I'm
Bring
saying
it back
is
in.
men in general don't
Mhm.
seek out the help, whether they got the means or they don't. They don't get the
I don't know
help.
about that. Okay.
The
I
fucking
feel
data
like.
just tells you.
Well, wait a minute.
No, the
But
data
that's
told
a
you
meme.
who kills themselves. They didn't tell you who didn't seek therapy. Just because that does not see you are making an assumption that because
I
they
think
committed
you are too.
suicide that they did not seek therapy. I'm not making that assumption. I'm just not.
I mean,
You're
it's
making
a
assumptions
meme.
because they don't have the money. They're not getting the help.
Oh, please. If you ain't got the money to pay for it, you can't do it.
Oh,
Simple as that.
This is not remotely angry internet. So trust
No,
me.
that's how we talk.
This is very, very calm.
This is what we
This
do.
is very calm. Very calm.
This is normal discussion.
Right. Yeah. Everybody in the comments like, "Ooh, wait a minute, y'all don't fight. It's okay. It's okay. Trust me."
Man, these are my best friends in the
Right.
world. So we get animated. This is what it is.
Go ahead, John. Say your point.
But I was going to
But
say,
hold on. Well, all right, go ahead.
it's a meme. First of all, we have no idea if these facts are correct, where they got them from, or anything else. I think that I agree with. I think that what Neil was saying and what y'all are saying can be true at the same time. Neil is right in that most young men, at least of our era, were raised, like he said, boys don't cry, man up. Don't, that's just how it was. And I mean, that's undeniable. Whether you was in the Midwest or womp, 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 don't really matter. So, and then on the flip side of that, what KG is saying is also correct in that men don't seek help. And the reason that they don't seek help could be maybe financial, maybe it's because of, schedule, or, whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? So the point of it all is, if you need some help, please get some. And how do people know that they need help? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
And some people. Never mind.
No, please.
No.
I'll start.
It's gonna be controversial.
Absolutely.
All right, so I got
straight notation.
This is just one anecdotal experience, just one. And it's not to say that everyone has had this out there, but it's just an experience where a former professor of mine was talking about a friend of his who was married, had the family, had the wife, and for whatever reason, what was going back and forth in the relationship with the wife, he didn't feel like he was being heard. He didn't feel like they was connecting, and it was something that was continually happening over and over and over again. So they got to the point where his friend went home, tried to talk to his wife about a certain thing. She dismissed it again. And then he said, "You know what? You never listened to me." Pulled a gun out and blew his brains out in front of her. Now, like I said, this is a very, it's anecdotal. And of course, this is like extreme. But in that experience, I don't know if anyone would have pegged that he was going through something that would have required, as a result of manning up, he was feeling like this, or as a result of not being able to talk to someone, he was feeling like this. Maybe some people just get to a point they were just like, you know what, I'm tired, and I just want to check out of here.
Anthony Bourdain.
Facts. I mean,
is what it is sometimes.
Listen, at the end of the day, we got to know ourselves as men, and sometimes it takes other people providing suggestions and feedback. And Neil and I talk about this all the time. When Neil goes dark, I'm like, dude, you can't do that shit. That's selfish from my perspective, right? If John does that, when Rasheem don't want to talk, I'm like, dude, you can't just not talk to your friends. It's just you can't do that.
I'm a completely different completely different. I'm like, yes, you can. That could be a part of what you need.
But
that's what I'm about to say.
I'm saying, but this is what I say. This is my role in this group of us.
But do you understand that how
projecting
that could make it worse?
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but you know where it comes from.
With that,
but you know where it comes from.
No, but see, I think
I'm not trying to make it worse. That it's because like, dude, like,
no, but listen,
this is what we for.
And this is what I say, because Keltric and I, you're right. We talk about this all the time. And I'm not speaking for Rob. I'm gonna speak for myself. You may be right from your viewpoint, your lens, looking at it like, Neil, why the fuck you dark? We love you. Talk to us. But for me, if that's my healing mechanism, is to go dark and just deal with my own shit, you and like, it's not personal, but you telling me that my healing mechanism is wrong is kind of like a deterrent.
I
and
said
saying fuck you.
I didn't say it's wrong.
But it's still like, you know, fuck your point of view, Neil. Do what I'm saying. Not saying that's what you're saying, but that's how it can come off.
I mean,
like,
if you take it how you need to take it. If it makes you
I feel like once again, both parties can be right.
So you need to take it.
No, in a situation like that, I don't believe both parties can be right.
If
only you can determine what's right for you. Now, if what you're determining is it can physically harm you, or you might physically harm someone else, then of course you need to get that.
So let me
something as simple as coping.
Hold on, let John say his statement real quick. Go ahead, John.
Is it cool for you to do that to your wife? Is it cool for you to do that to your family?
Ooh, 20-second time out. My wife recognizing that I left my mama when I was 16 and I've pretty much been on my own for the most part since then. Like, hold on a second. I'm about to answer it. Recognizing that I have now come into an entire family that's larger than any family that I have been actively involved with in my life, and how that drains me. She has said, you need to go check yourself into a hotel. There is a moment that I will have to separate because I need that space in order to bring myself back. I wholeheartedly agree with this.
Do you tell her that, or does she have to recognize
it? The very first time she recognized it,
and since then,
it'll be like, I may need this time, or she may be like, I'm going here, you go there.
That's the point. You at this
I think
now
you changed your point, but go ahead.
Now you articulate your needs.
Yeah, but there may be a time that I don't.
Because she presented a safe space for you to do so.
But that wasn't the point. The point was about separation. Did you need to you feel a need to separate? Did you feel a need to go dark? That was what your point was. You moving to go.
No.
Listen,
I think
America.
like,
KG always moves the goalposts.
No.
He always moves the goalposts.
John with me.
I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. It's like what y'all are saying is like, as a man, what we're trying to say is like, men, get the support where you can. We're both Scorpios, in whatever way that means. So basically, like, Neil said that he likes to kind of retreat and just regroup and be by himself and be solo and quote unquote go dark. KG is the kind of person that he just wants to make sure that Neil is still alive. You know what I'm saying? We know that Neil will resurface it sooner or later. KG's gonna be like, yo, I haven't spoke to him in a minute. I want to make sure that he's okay, and he's gonna check in. And I think Neil understands that, so he like gives, and that it's a two-way street, like y'all was saying. Like, you know, that's just how it is, and so that's support, and that's what people do. There's plenty of men that simply do not have any relationship, not with their wife, with their kids, or anybody else, where they could say, this person kind of knows me and knows what I need and is giving it to me the way you know. And that's very important, and it's also probably why we all still
a reason.
Hey Jay, real talk.
What else is new?
That's not true. No, don't do that. You're going too far. Here's the thing, though. We have a responsibility to each other at this point. 20 plus years in, to articulate. We got to get to the details, but to just be like, hey, I'm here. I'm going through something. I'll be back. I feel like it's a responsibility that we owe to each other as men, as friends, to just say, hey, this is, you know, I'll holler at y'all, but just, you know, I'm good, but I ain't good, but, you know, give me some space.
Right.
But by simply fading to black, I think that is, in this space, for even the men who go through what they go through, it is irresponsible and selfish from my point of view, because if these people are your friends, and when people like, man, I had no idea they was going through this shit, I just feel like you just be like, man, I didn't know that motherfucker like that. They just go through something. They don't tell nobody.
But think about how many times you and John have said that. Like on this show, it'd be like, damn, I didn't know you was going through that shit, Neil.
Exactly.
But at the same token,
the older you get, exposure leads to expansion.
I think we spoke about it before, and I'll tell you, Neil's mindset. I look at it like if we're talking about the four of us right now, brothers, that we love each other. Rod's married, got his life together. You happily married. Y'all both got your lives together with kids. John is a great father. So in my mind,
wait a minute. Is my life not together?
yeah,
What you trying to say?
yes,
Never
your
mind.
life is together.
Keep
But
going.
in my point is the way I look at it from that scenario, it's like I could be going through some devastating shit. I would feel selfish, like I'm not trying to stop Rod's life, John's life. My shit could be some real detrimental shit that would need, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks. And I'm like, damn, I'm not going to impose that on them. So I'll just go dark, deal with it myself. And that's how I do it. When I go dark, that's why I don't like to. Well, I do better now because Keltric be on my ass.
You do a lot better.
But that's why I didn't share a lot of shit. Like even sometimes me and John were talking. He was like, damn, dog, we know each other for 20 years. I didn't know you went through that shit. But I came out on the opposite end, I think better. But sometimes, that's how it is. Sometimes you don't want to tell everybody.
Hey, I'm not saying that's not true, what you're stating. What I'm adding to this conversation is the responsibility to communicate. I'm not saying it has to be detail oriented and got to be I laid out all the facts, anything like that. It's everybody needs their space at certain points in time. I get that. I respect it. I honor it. However, I think
I agree, Larry.
There's a responsibility to say, hey, I'm going through X, Y, and Z, or I need a moment, man. And if your friends love you, respect it, like Rasheem, me and Rasheem used to live together. And there's plenty of times when Rasheem would do some shit and he'd go through some stuff. I'd be like, hey man, he need to just chill out for a second. I wouldn't say nothing to him for a number of days. And then when he wants to reemerge, I'm like, you good? Well, I'm good. I never asked Rod no questions. I never want to invade into his space unless if he wants to present something. Rasheem has shared stuff on this show I've never heard of in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard in my life. But I also, all of y'all, I don't ask questions like that. If y'all present information and y'all share, I'm here to listen. I'm here to support.
But the one thing you did, I think John did say, or it was Ra, I think we have such a bond with each other in the sense that even if either one of us goes dark, we know that we're not going to be reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember back in the days, I used to be a drinker with my problems, but I grew out of it and realized that liquor shit don't really help. So now it's just like,
I hate to interrupt you, but as friends who also observe stuff, we also tried to beat you up over that because you was doing some overtly flagrant things with the alcohol. So I don't think you came to that conclusion on your own.
No, I'm saying, but that's my point. I moved away from that. I moved away from that because I realized that wasn't, So I agree with you.
But also, I think if you go through things by yourself, you evade accountability potentially, right? There's a certain level of accountability to Rasheem's point that as friends we bring to the forefront. I can't operate and do something and y'all now hold me accountable. You can't do nothing, Neil, that we won't hold you accountable for if you bring it to us. Same thing for Rasheem. If Rasheem do something that's foul, I'm like, dude, you're doing too much. You're tripping.
I think what you're saying is absolutely correct, but withdrawing does not have to have anything to do with needing to be held accountable.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if I have to withdraw, it's something like Patrice said earlier. I don't owe nobody an explanation. I don't owe anyone an explanation. So long as if I can withdraw and then come back and feel like I'm 100%. Now, if I come back and y'all are like, yo, you still tilted, then maybe we have to have some conversation. But if I feel like I need to withdraw, like you said, Neil, you handle it with the best way. It's best for you.
It's one thing to do it for a few days. It's something different when you are gone for months. So that's my only problem. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple times I was like, do I need to ride out to Neil's house? Because
okay.
That's a little bit different.
Okay.
Nonetheless,
when you there's a period in your life that we all know about.
Yeah.
Well, we was all concerned, like, hey, he ain't the same Rod right now. Like we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
You know
there
what
was
I'm saying?
plenty, but what am I trying to say? I think that as men, that there are certain things that we do not necessarily share because we haven't made peace with it, or we don't know how to say it, or whatever the case might be. And it's not necessarily because I'm trying to hide or, retreat or whatever. It's just that I don't know how to, I don't know how to deal with this. So I'm definitely not able to articulate it and put it in terms so that y'all can, do whatever you're going to do with it. So, I mean, I understand what Keltric's saying. I understand what everybody else is saying. And we spent about 30 minutes on this.
This is a good topic. When we put it out there, I think we're able to move through it faster than if we do it by ourselves. If it's something. And we just got a moment and we
this is a very strange, okay. And also we are very lucky in that we've got like actual friends that are our peers and so on and so forth. We respect and blah, blah, blah. Again, a lot of people do not have that. Social media has really warped that friend word and makes people think like, okay, you follow me on Instagram and we talk a whole lot, so we really friends. That person might not necessarily be your friend. And I think that a lot of people got that all the way screwed up. We're very lucky that we've got our little friend groups or whatever the case is, but some people do not have that person. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to many people that's like a big fear in their life is like, okay, who do I put down as my emergency contact? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Rasheem, you on our passport joints?
On the passport joints.
Okay. As the emergency contact?
Yeah.
Hey,
listen,
Ra, you are very stable. I can see that.
Listen, we've been each other's. We've been each other's. References for personal references on resumes. It is not. I mean, I'll tell you about that a little later. But it's there's a lot that we've all experienced, and I don't know why men don't speak. I'm a very different animal in this category because I will talk. I will hit my boys up. I will tell y'all what's going on. There are plenty of times I'm like, hey, we need to have a conference call, and I go through it. I get all y'all perspectives. I get all the motivation, inspiration, and I'm like, all right, I got enough. That's my refuel. Let me go through it. You know what I'm saying? I that's just the way I was. I wouldn't say that's how I was raised, but over the course of time, I've evolved into that space where
there you go.
I'm comfortable with articulating my emotions. I don't really give a damn when people say anything about like what they perceive me to be. There was a point in time where I was very self-conscious about a lot of things, but now I'm grown. I feel accomplished in a lot of respects, and I feel very confident to be vulnerable, if that makes sense.
Well, see, no, I'm thinking about it, and you said a key
this
note.
Is not 1999 KG. Trust me.
You said it. You said something that's real, and it just really, really resonated with me. But I think it goes back to my statement where it's like it all depends on your village and who you have that connection with. I love all of y'all to death, and this is straight no chaser. I could be going some real emotional, detrimental shit. Ra's my man. I love him. We 1121 twins. I would never cry in front of Ra. I would never cry in front of John. But Keltric, you was right there with me. You knew I was going to break down. I was there.
I cried with you.
You was the first person giving me hugs and crying. So it's like, I know all of y'all love me, but I'm literally thinking about that when you said about being
KG. I cried for KG too.
Are we talking about at the graduation?
No, I cried. Yeah. So Neil cried. Me and Neil cried a couple of times. He cried. So the thing he was telling you guys about earlier was my grandmother had died suddenly, and so we were doing this Upward Bound, Camp Round Meadow type, whatever it was, and we were walking someplace, and I had just come back, I think, and I was in a daze, a haze, and we were walking to some event. I think it was to some school near Howard, and me and Neil just kind of fell back from the campers, and we just kind of started talking, and I just started communicating with him, just opening up for whatever reason. And we was everybody cried with KG. That's I appreciate that. That's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility that I have to take. And
he is.
We had a moment. And then at the graduation, we had a moment. At my wedding, Rasheem and I had a moment. We had Ryan and I have had a lot of moments in general, but that was like the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because as much as I love John, I think if John saw me crying, he'd be like, "What?" the fuck is
Like he would be
wrong?
awkward. I think
Absolutely
John
not
he
true.
would
Yeah, it'd be
he would.
awkward, but I mean, he would care. He would worry.
Yeah.
Whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
think
I'm
John would
right
probably
here.
pour you a drink.
He
You know what I'm
would.
saying?
He would. He'll
I'm
pat you on
right
the back.
here. I can tell you exactly what I would do. I would stand there and I would look at you and I would say, I would
Are you
try
okay?
to assess the situation and I would say, okay, what do you need right now? In my mind, sometimes you need a hug. Sometimes you need a kick in the ass. Sometimes you need a strip club. Sometimes you need quiet and silence. And that's what I would do in that moment. If you broke down in tears in front of me, I mean, it's one thing you lost your grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And in that moment, all I'm going to do is hug you and be quiet. If you crying because you lost your job, I'm going to pour you a drink and say, get another one. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
It just kind of
Okay.
depends.
That's
So,
Hey, listen, John inspired. John has no
Practical
idea
dude.
how this changed my life. But there's a moment in my life that was a fork in the road,
Oh,
and
with granddaddy. Yeah.
John gave me the right words of encouragement to take the right choice in the fork, and life has been grand ever since. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you, bro. I love you.
Yeah.
I
Look
love
at
you,
him.
KG.
Namaste.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
he
go.
said it on the
There you
show.
go. Ah, I don't know why they act like that. But all right. So there you go for y'all. We went through the mental health. We went through the critical race theory.
Can we talk about can I just jump
Relationships.
to it? Can we just I don't know if we wanna which
Oh, I can
circumstance
tell
we
you.
just
A lot of
put on play.
Oh, we'll tell you.
Deca.
We will tell you. That's on a later show though, because we're gonna take it
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
Deca. That's a
thing.
completely
Right.
different show.
That's on the Patreon.
So we gotta set that Patreon up. That's
Right.
That's what we
Right.
gotta do. I'll send that stuff out for y'all so we can make up our minds on the Patreon.
Right.
So how we gonna segue into
I'm not.
the relationship joint? Is it gonna be through Nick
I got
Cannon or is it something completely different?
I would like y'all's feedback on something real quick. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to leave this as anonymous as possible, but I've got a family member and this is a young person in their early 20s. Just it's going to take 2 minutes. All right. So it's a younger person, let's say a cousin, and like 20. Okay, work with me.
Okay, we
So
working.
the cousin is 20, and they approached an older member of my family and asked for that older member to pay for their phone bill. Now, this younger person is young, like I said, 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't really stay in constant contact with the family. They're kind of in and out because they're 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? But they just popped up and said, hey, can you pay my phone? Can you pay me? In such a fashion. And this family member believes that they need it. So my question to y'all is, should this older person go ahead, give them the $50, it's something like $55 for the phone bill or whatever, and leave it alone? Or should they be like, you know what? You don't really talk to us that much. You only asking me for money. What's the deal? How would y'all handle that?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first and tell you how I handled it.
Okay.
Hell no.
There you go. I agree with you. You answered the answer. There you go.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
You ain't talk to me.
Here's my perspective on this. In a situation like that, clearly that person is not being responsible for their own bills and needs. So if somebody comes to me in that situation, they've opened the door to hear my mouth. So you're gonna get some counseling, you're gonna get some questions. The money gonna be in my hand, and you're gonna get it, but under my terms and conditions. And it may be the first and last time you get money from me, or it could be the first of several times you get money from me, just based on the circumstances in which you and I, or the person that's talking to me, has an understanding. I have no problem giving anybody anything if they try. If you ain't doing nothing and you being lazy, don't come to me with nothing, because I'm gonna look at you kind of sideways and be like, man, nah, I got nothing for you.
Okay.
Can I just hear a clarification? John, did you say that person did not talk to the family member?
As in, when I say not talk, as in they would go dark, 2-3 weeks. So we got like a big, huge family text message, text group, and might poke their head in and say, hey, every now and then, every few weeks, and then not say nothing for a while. You know what I'm saying? Might show up to the holiday dinner, might not. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is a 19-year-old young person. out there trying to figure it out. I mean, I get it. When I was 19, I wasn't constantly talking to my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case might be. So on one hand, I kind of understand that. On the other, therefore, earn your own damn money. You didn't just suddenly get the phone bill. You know what I'm saying?
I think they 18, 19, 20, you coming up, you trying to find your way in this world. I think that being present in the family is something that should happen both ways. Like they should make efforts to call, they should make efforts to come around the family. But I feel like if personal experience, if I'm 19 in college and all I got is $30 to my name every 2 weeks, it wouldn't hurt a family member to call me every once in a while.
Absolutely.
As opposed to when I get back down to New York, you don't call us. You don't call me either. And I'm the one that's the kid, really. 19, 20, you're still a kid.
Right.
So I figure as they're growing and developing, that whole outreach should go both ways. But even if it doesn't go both ways, it's a phone bill. Person's a part of the family. You know, they're not going to take it to go smoke crack. Help them. You know what I'm saying? Help them. And then talk them through whatever situation they got. Did I put this one up already? Talk them through whatever situation they got. Okay. I don't know if this Nia or Naya, but thank you. Yeah, but I don't think it helps them just to be like, nah, figure it out on your own. Clearly they couldn't. And maybe they need you to help them in that moment and then help them put the dots together, connect the dots so that next time, that there won't be a next time.
Right.
But I mean, you turning them away, then you try to help them connect the dots. They're not listening to you.
Facts. I mean, this older person gave them money. So,
was it you? Yeah. Did you give the money? Oh no, you said you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it.
I mean,
listen, man. We are in a position, all of us in different spaces, but we can help out a lot of different people who ever seek it out, whether it be through advice, whether it be through counsel, whether it be through mentorship, whether it be through financial investments. We just in a different space, and in a lot of ways, who the hell? If you feel like they're worthy, why wouldn't you invest in them? Why would you withhold something so simple that's negligent in the grand scheme of things in your life? And even if it causes a slight inconvenience, you know you're gonna get it back. Why not just do it?
Well, you don't know you're gonna get it back because I mean, you might not get it back.
You gotta trust that you're gonna get it back, not necessarily from that person, but somehow that's gonna come back to you.
I don't get no money with the anticipation that it's going to be returned to me. None. Unless we have loan conditions. Somebody like, hey, I need $100, and I mess with them in that way, they're going to get $100. That's going to be it. It's $200. I mean, whatever the money is, it is. Give what you can afford to lose.
Oh. He's like, I'm not doing that.
No. If I'm the exact opposite, if I give you some money, I ain't giving you no damn money. I will, if you need, I take that back. If you needed it, yes, I would give it to you. If you are, like you said, we got that relationship. Everybody outside of that, I ain't giving you no damn money. That's blood money. That's literally my damn time. I will loan it to you. That's my resource. I will, and you're going to pay it back to me, and you got one time to fuck over me. And no, but whatever.
I don't even look at it as somebody messing me over. It's just
y'all got great heart, man.
If I give something to somebody, I'm surprised that Neil feels that way. If I give something to somebody,
I'm surprised
and I feel like they mess over me, I ain't got no issue with it. It won't happen again.
You gotta change the scenario for Neil. Now, if it was like an ex from 20 years ago instead of a 20-year-old person, and they came, with the teary-eyed, Neil
would give somebody his car, his house, his shirt. I don't know why you're trying to act for.
No, that's why my mind. But see, I guess I'm just thinking about growing up like in a West Indian household. You not talk to somebody in the house, and then you have the nerve to ask for money.
I think about like the amount of, from both ends, the amount of courage it takes to ask somebody who you don't talk to in that way to say, hey, can you help me out? I feel like that's a lot to go through.
Okay. I mean, and you're right. I would feel like maybe as I sit here listening to y'all talk, to be 100% honest, I'm still on my same stance. But now that I'm thinking about it, I would try to do something where I'll be like, okay, yeah, you need X amount of dollars. You need to do this for me. And then here goes some for you to go take care of your business.
So
I'm
they
not
would
giving you no
earn it.
damn.
They
They
would
will
earn
earn it. And I don't give a damn if it is, I don't know. I can't think, whatever little thing that we're talking about. But yeah, you're going to do something. It's not just, I'm just going to give you no damn money.
I mean,
Because we're talking about like you are still,
I can
you're
dig it.
young, but you still an adult. You've got to take responsibility for you, stand up on your own 2 feet, whatever that may entail. If that means you don't have no phone, you got to figure it out. And so, man that don't work, don't eat. So, or speak.
but that
So
goes back to
therefore,
Rasheem's conversation a while. We had a lot of shows ago around: is it okay for a child to remain in the parent's household up until they decide to get married? Because at that point they can save money and kind of increase their net worth. You remember that? You making that face?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I thought you was pulling a Neil moment on us for a quick
No,
second.
you know me better than
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So yes.
In the most love. Never mind. I'm gonna say.
save it. Save it.
I know he's gonna say. I know
Save
he's
it
gonna
till I
say.
hit end broadcast.
Oh
When I
wait.
hit end broadcast, then you can say it.
Woo, man, I got ABS brakes on tonight, boy.
No, man, straight no chase of the podcast. Let it ride.
So are we gonna
So we're
tap
gonna do
on?
Nick Cannon. We're gonna do Nick
Are we
Cannon.
gonna tap on Nick Cannon? How he got like
Yeah, we
30,000
can. Why
kids?
not?
Okay.
Named
Nick Cannon.
zillionaire. Like how you do that?
He did it by probably being very honest with the women that he was with. He
What
said,
happened?
I don't know. Nobody here. This is all alleged. It's not alleged that he's having a baby.
Yeah.
It's not alleged that he's having the children. It
He
is
got
7
alleged
kids
how
with
he's
3
doing
or 4 different women, right?
Yeah.
7
it.
kids.
I want to say
one's pregnant right now.
no. He's gonna have like 4 this year with 4 different women. I want to say.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a lot of
maybe
meat.
2
That's a
is
lot of
twins.
meat to meat. I do not approve that level of meat to meatness.
He's
You had
being
to sneak that one in.
fruitful and
You
multiplying.
sneak that one in.
I
Exactly.
do not approve that level of meat to meatness. I don't.
Nick Cannon can afford it. And I think that he's probably been very open and honest with all the women that he was with and let them know that, hey, this is how I roll. And everybody made a decision. God bless them. I have no problem with none of it.
He may have
Kids
been,
ain't gonna want for nothing.
because all
You know
the
that.
pictures of the
They
women, the
gonna want their
pregnant women.
daddy.
But listen, all the pictures of the pregnant women or the women after having just given birth, they all smiling. All the women are smiling.
Exactly.
They are cheesing.
Let me ask you. So my wife and I had the discussion yesterday. I said, are they cheddar chasing, or do they really think that this dude is going to like they feel like they found love? My perspective was, I think the majority of them, whether it be priority or something on their list, were cheddar chasing. I don't know if you recklessly just kind of get pregnant by this dude thinking that this is the one and you found love. I just don't perceive that to be their perspective.
I think, and we're not in these people's heads, but
Not
I
at all.
imagine
This is all
that
speculation.
they know that Nick is a good father. They know that he is financially stable. They probably have good feelings for him since they are willing to engage
Lay
in raw
down with
sex with his ass. So, whether they love him, who knows, who's to say, but they care enough about him to have his baby. You know what I'm saying? So Nick strikes me as the type of dude that's like, yo, have my child. You were taken care of. You're good. You know what I'm saying?
There's only so much money. And
Yeah, but I mean, he got bread.
let me
He
ask
got
you a
some bread.
question.
I mean, he
Let me throw
own
something else in there.
production company. He's making money.
Neil, would your kids rather have money or you in their life? John, would your kids rather have money or you in their life? Rasheem, would your daughter rather have money or you in her life?
But who's to say that he's not going to be in their life and have
Right.
money? But he's
Right.
only worth
And
30 million.
this-
I would think he's worth so much more than that.
In
You
the
said
same
30 million?
That's what the internet says.
Oh.
Internet says Nick Cannon's net worth 30 million, which ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's an
Ain't nothing to
exceptional
sneeze at.
amount of money.
30
But
million more than I got.
it's
No, it's
it's a
not.
crackhead right
You got
now
more than,
with
you got
7
more than
kids.
$0.
Yeah, right. I got more than $0.
Yeah, you got more than $0.
I don't listen. Yeah, I don't know if I can even engage in that question, man, because I think the way he be bouncing around out, I think he's gonna try to be in every one of his kids' life.
Oh yeah,
I think he is.
I think yeah.
I don't know if you can spread yourself between 7 different women Is it 7? Is it 7 or 4? I don't. Whatever the number is.
It's gonna be
It's
less.
more than like 4 or 5 women. 4 or
Okay.
5 women. If you can spread yourself in that way, and your kids all feel like an equitable amount of investment, I think it's a little troubling to do that. It's challenging. I don't
Right.
know if he can do that in addition to his endeavors.
Equitable financial investment or emotional investment or both.
Emotional. Financial, I don't think he's gonna have a problem financially. I don't think the women that are the parents of his kids are gonna have a difficult time financially, at
I
least
see what you're saying.
in the short term.
Mhm.
But is the kids don't know about money. We
Right.
do because we grown. But
Right.
a child does not know the value of a dollar. They
How
do know
can
the
you-
value of time.
How can you spread yourself to 7 different babies in 4 different households? Yeah, that's tough.
It is gonna be tough.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I mean, in the end, he can be there in so many different ways. Technology has made the world much shorter. If the kid wakes up and says, "Hey, I want to go see my dad," Nick Cannon's got the ability to put that child on a plane and bring them to him at any given time. You know what I'm saying?
But John, think about it.
I don't know.
I mean, Keltric really made me think about that. Think about it literally for a second, John. 7 different kids in 4 different households. So somebody's getting daddy more than the other.
Maybe, but maybe not. We don't actually know. Maybe he's bringing all his children to him. Maybe he's like, you have the baby, and then you go be free and leave him right here with me. Who knows? We don't know how he's operating his life. But we do know that he's got the financial ability to take care of all of them women and all of them children. I trust him to be able to be in their lives. We won't know how it's all going to be for another 20, 25 years.
Do you think he's being reckless?
No. How is he? If he is not a good father in the sense that the women are left to kind of take care of the kids by themselves, both financially and on a day-to-day, then he would be irresponsible.
Post that last comment from Jewel. I agree with that 100%.
Oh, damn.
Let me put it
I
up.
know.
Ooh, y'all getting spicy in the comments.
Hold on, let me get to it.
What's up today?
This is right here. The Jewel's comment right there, man. We can't. I think his behavior.
How y'all know he ain't gonna see them kids frequently or daily? You don't know that.
That's true, though.
You don't know that.
Mariah Carey is not sending her twins with him every day.
You do not know that. You do not know that. And I guarantee you, Mariah Carey ain't worried about what Nick Cannon is doing or whatever.
Here's one realistic thing that could happen. Let's say all the kids that are born this year.
Oh,
Let's
Jesus.
say they all graduate. Let's say they're on track. They all graduate elementary school, middle school, high school, and college.
Ooh, I know you're going with this.
It's going to be at the same time. So unless Nick creates some celebratory event for all of his children at one time and gets all of them to one spot, and they all want to share that experience with their half siblings,
right?
Unless he does that, he won't be able to celebrate those milestones with all those kids.
See, that's the problem right there. What you just said, the number one word of what you just said, Rob, was half. They ain't. I hate that.
All right,
half step type thing.
Take that out.
Take it out.
Because that's not the point. The point is all the siblings together celebrating the same June graduation.
Yeah. And okay, so for example,
how does he get to all of them?
He does what you just described, just like Neil did with his 2 children.
But why should
no.
But if they're living in separate areas with separate mothers, why should I share my graduation with my brother?
Because we are in a family. We are in a family, and we are all going to end this together, and we all going to sink or swim together. And if you can start it from the gate, and all the mothers is on board with it, why can't you get all the kids on board with it?
He's not going.
And that's how they was raised.
You think he's gonna get everyone on board to be
I think that people really. I think that we are all speaking from a whole lot of trauma, and this is why we need mental health, because we want his shit to crash and burn. We want him. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And by we, I don't necessarily mean everybody here. I'm saying social media. I'm saying people that's kind of reading into it, because it just disgusts us that he somehow has all these kids, and it just seems wrong. But it doesn't have to be wrong.
Listen. It's not that it disgusts us. It's highly questionable behavior from somebody who appears.
Who is you to question his behavior?
Let me finish. I'm in the public, and he's a public figure, so I am the person that can question his behavior. But in his capacity as somebody who's observing, I find his behavior highly questionable. to have 7 kids in 1 year.
Okay.
I think that she's
Again.
doing a lot of me to me, and I even so.
Is it 7 or is it?
Here's the
I
thing
think
too.
that's
Or-
the
My
7
wi-
in total.
So my wife
Yeah.
and I had this discussion too. To get a woman pregnant, you got like I think 3 days, right, when she's ovulating. So to have that kind of aim during that time, that peak performance kind of time frame, he either got to be incredibly lucky or unlucky on how you, depending on how you look at it, or this is completely intentional. And either way, I mean, that's a really unsavory type of thing for me to fathom, because I'm not in this position, but it just still feels very questionable, man. It feels very questionable.
Might say we could question it.
Right.
That's what Jules
That's what I was
said.
looking at.
I mean, like I said, man, there are plenty of people without his financial ability that have them type of children.
That's true.
On board
And
kids.
with a bunch of different women and so on and so forth, and we judge them and so on and so forth. And to me, man, if you're taking care of your children, they don't have any, they're
But
got
define
food over
that.
here.
Financial taking care of your kid ain't enough.
Says who? I mean, wait a minute. You're right. It's not enough. But how can you possibly say? I'm not talking about just a regular, average, everyday type person. I'm talking about somebody that has the financial wherewithal to do things that we necessarily can't do. So, like, yeah, he can spend months at a time with one kid if he so chose. He can afford nannies. He can, build them put money away for college and make sure everybody's straight. He can
But
do all those things.
how many stories have we heard and read over the years where they don't care about that? They want to spend
We
time
talk
with their
about this,
parents.
and why can't he do that? Is what I'm saying. Why can't he do that?
I mean,
Just because we don't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. I think that we really are reading a whole lot into this situation,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of it's very interesting. People kind of want we really need therapy. Bad.
I don't know if people want to see him crash and burn.
Oh, they do. They do.
No, who does?
Rob, no, wait a minute. No, let's be real. Let's be real, okay?
Yeah, go on,
If
be
for
real.
whatever reason, Nick Cannon goes bankrupt next year,
I could
the
care
entire
less. Or I couldn't care less. Whichever one.
the entire internet would run to go type their glee at the fact that he would be having problems money wise. Because now who's gonna feed the kids? What you gonna do, Nick? You gonna sell your ass for money? It's that kind of nonsense. Because that's what people
leave
do.
that comment up. Zoe is a wise woman. This is an excellent comment here. It
That might be true. That might be true. We don't know.
Just read it.
We don't
you know. What I'm saying?
We don't know.
I mean, we
Might be
don't
true.
know, but the likelihood of it happening in the way that she's presenting it is
Don't
highly
you love?
Why do y'all
Keltric
think that he's not
comments
going to be
that agree
available
with
to
him.
his children? That's what I'm saying. Why are you? Hold on. Why do you feel like why do y'all feel like he's not going to be available to his children? He might not be available to their mothers, but why wouldn't he be available to his kids?
He has to be available to his mamas at this early stage. The kids can't pick up the
Agreed.
fucking phone and call him.
It seems like he's got a very good relationship with all the mothers. He's all in the maternity photos. They seem to all know each other.
And
They cool
they
with
all
it.
cheesing, they all smiling.
Everybody's cool
Big.
with it. So why
They
are
should
people
be smiling.
mad?
They because you're having a baby. Why would you be mad when you're having a baby? If
So
you
why
keep
are
it that
y'all
long-
mad? That's what I'm
Nobody's
asking.
mad.
Oh, you're mad. You're mad. You're mad. You just said that the man there was something. What did you just say? I'm not even going to rewind it. But you was just like, it's a what?
No, I mean you about to pull a nail, about to say some shit I didn't say. So go ahead.
No, you said something about how it speaks to his character, or something with that you just got done saying.
Yeah, he did say something about that. He did make a character judgment on him.
So let me real quick to wrap all this up.
That doesn't mean he's mad.
Okay, that's fine. Real quick to wrap all this up. Okay. Let's just say that you have Nick Cannon money, 30 million, 40 million, whatever it might be. Okay. You have the ability. You're not married. You could have all the kids you wanted if you so chose. You could take care of all them children. You could take care of the mothers. You're saying that you would be like, nah, wrapping it up because I'm saving my money for the 2 I got with Mariah because they're going to need more money.
No, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that if I wanted to have more kids, then I will either publicly come. If am I a public figure, or is it just private?
Okay, yeah, you're a public figure.
If I'm public,
Well,
I
no,
would,
you just you. You are Keltric, and you are doing what you do, and you
I
can
would- I
have
would-
more children if you wanted to.
I would just have a conversation with whoever I'm dealing with, and this would be the things, and we will all live in this compound together, and we would just do what we do. And I would have my kids.
Damn, maybe that's what Nick Cannon is doing. How about that? You think Nick Cannon would have thought of that and bought everybody a house in the same spot?
Maybe he did.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well, thank you, Jewel.
Oh.
Mariah got the money, so he can put more of his money with these other 5. Anyway, well, y'all, you know,
Any
it's
more
one of those
relationship?
things.
There, you got something?
Man, I'm loving it. It's been great.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been great.
So
I'm with you, Neil.
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it,
yeah.
and we got one
Gonna wrap
last
it
thing.
up. Wrap it up like
Wrap it up, John.
like Nick Cannon didn't do.
Yeah,
Right.
This candle was perfect, John.
Right. One suggestion for the people, and then we out. One thing,
Oh.
one book, movie,
Thinking about this
something.
beforehand.
No, I already got that. I'm gonna feed off what Ross said
Man.
last week. Thank you, my brother. That Lupin series was fantastic. I finished
Haven't watched
watching it
it yet.
yesterday.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I need to go back and revisit something. Denise, she gave us an idea how we could package this recommendation piece. We'll talk offline about that. But
Okay.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you,
man.
Denise.
Yeah, shout out to Denise. We got to get on here too for
Facts.
What are you recommending?
we'll talk about
Anything.
offline. I got
Anything.
Oh yeah, the recommendation. Yeah. Yeah.
Book,
So what's your
movie, anything, liquor, food, restaurant, whatever.
Anything.
You know what I recommend, y'all? DC on a nice sunny day. Just
Yes.
you know, me and wife, we walked the monuments earlier today, and just
Yeah.
it's a wonderful place to be, man. I fell in love with DC when I came down. It only took me 15 minutes in 1998. I was like, not 1998, 1993, 94 actually, because it was spring semester. I love me some DC, y'all. You just, I recommend getting on out there before it gets way hot and just go see those monuments. Just take the walk.
And Keltric, what was that joint you were recommending for John? If those people are interested in wines, you were saying to try something. What?
Pinot Noirs.
Benoit. There you go. All right. So
I'm going to recommend Tequila Sin Coro Tequila Reposado. It is a premium tequila, sipping tequila. I've been sipping on. My first glass was with the blue and white bottle that y'all have heard of, and this one is a new one that I've been sipping on this year, added to my collection. I would highly recommend it. It is quite delicious.
Wait, did you give the name of it?
Sin Coro.
Okay.
And go Hawks too, by the way. They I think they might shock the world in
them boys are bad.
the finals.
They-
I feel like I'm pulling for the Hawks and the Suns. That is
I
NBA
kind of want the
tequila.
Suns to win.
Hey, real quick, Matthew. Listen, man, I wasn't trying to be cruel, man. It was a clown statement, so I apologize. I didn't mean to offend nobody. But, I saw your comment in the thing. Rasheem didn't put it up there, but I saw it, so it's all good.
Yeah. I like the fact that you were the 4 coaches in the finals. 3 of them are black.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thumbs up.
Not bad. Not bad. My recommendation: nonfiction books by Robert A. Carroll, like this one, The Power Broker. Excellent. Please check him out. On that note, it's a wrap. So we'll see y'all next week.
Where they gonna catch us?
Thursday,
Where they gonna find us at, John?
In the
everywhere.
meantime.
SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I
How
already
about the
said
places?
SoundCloud.
How about the places where they
iTunes.
can actually listen to podcasts?
Apple
like Spotify
Podcasts,
and Apple.
Spotify. There you go. All of those.
Don't forget SoundCloud.
Right.
He did say SoundCloud. He did say that.
SoundCloud. SoundCloud's the number one. Shout out to everybody in Estonia. And on that note,
Oh, by the
Peace
way,
out.
I remember the dude's name too from when we was in Richmond. His name was David.
Yeah.
Boy's name was
The
David.
dude who
The
was
son's name was the son who was
Oh.
working with his mom and his auntie.
Yeah.
Oh,
David.
David.
Yeah, Ra wasn't there. He went back upstairs.
No, he was there with her because he
Yeah.
gave the side hug.
Yeah, she gave me the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mom
Alright.
was fit too.
Yeah,
Look, it's time to go.
There you go.
Bye, Dolly. Bye, Patrice. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Peace.
And end broadcast now.
There you have it.
And on that note, we're gonna say peace out, God bless, and good night.
Straight, no chaser.